Good morning. Hope today is a good day for you. Let's talk about courage. Courage, if you look it up in the dictionary, you're going to find something like courage is the ability to do something that frightens you. Okay, moving forward with an action, even though there is some fear involved in it. That is what courage is all about. When we look back at the life and the teaching of Jesus, we see something very interesting happen. Evidently, the way that Jesus taught changed through the course of his years of ministry. Now, the teaching never changed, but the way that he taught evidently changed. At first, it was more parables and figurative language, and then later, it was more straightforward and to the point. If you want to check that out, look at John chapter 16, verses 25 through 33, and it pretty much says that. At first it was figurative, then it was more straightforward. But as I said, the message itself never changed. The message was always a message of hope. As he neared his death and he knew what he was about to experience, he had a certain urgency about him. We see that in all four Gospels. As he neared that final, particularly the final week of his life, as they had known it here, there were things that were urgent, and he was pressing them, and he was trying to instill in those who were following him a preparation for what was coming. He knew that his followers were about to undergo some very, very trying times. He knew that they were soon to face much stronger opposition and a different kind of opposition that they had ever faced before. But his message, again, was always filled with hope. He wanted them to know that even if he was absent, he was present. He wanted them to know that no matter what the world did, that his kingdom and his way would eventually overcome. So we get down to John 16:33. This is a verse I believe every Christian ought to have branded on their minds, because this is a very important verse, and I think maybe more so now than maybe it's ever been before. This is what John 16:33 says. These things I have spoken to you, so that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation, but take courage, I have overcome the world. Got that? Take courage, I have overcome the world. There it is, courage. The ability to do something that may hold some fear. As Jesus' disciples were going to be facing more and more challenges, Jesus knew that there was going to be some fear involved. But he says, take courage. Use that. Move forward with this. Jesus was setting before his disciples truly a new way of life. He wasn't interested in them simply following a new teaching as much as he wanted them to become a new kind of humanity. His way was new, and it was so different that anyone who followed him would be seen as different, as odd, as simply not fitting into the world that they lived in. That went for them in the first century, and it goes for us in the 21st century. His message still stands today. There's little doubt that for anyone who is watching the trends of our time, the trends of our society, there's little doubt that we are headed towards harder times as Christians. Christian morality is no longer the standard of who we are as an American people. The Christian focus that Jesus is the only way, As Jesus himself said, I am the way, the truth, the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. That focus that Jesus is the only way to God is increasingly unpopular. Even the freedoms that we have had to express those ideas are themselves coming under attack, so that even our freedom of speech and our freedom of religion are actually threatened. So, consequently, there are a lot of people today who are feeling like we face a hopeless situation. But Jesus' message, the message of the first century and the message for the 21st century, is still filled with hope. In this world, we're going to face more and more tribulation, but Christian, take courage, because he has overcome the world. We move forward with our discipleship. We do what Christians do, even if there is some fear involved. Why? Well, because he has overcome the world. I don't know, neither do you know, none of us really knows how some of the things in our American society, our American culture are going to turn out. But I do know of who is ultimately in charge. I've read the end of the book, and many of you have too. We win. Jesus already declared victory. When he walked out of the tomb on that first day of the week, he made it very clear that this world cannot contain him. All that he is asking now, just as he was asking then, is for us to go and follow him, no matter what that means. And why do we follow him? Because in this world, we're going to have tribulation, but he has overcome this world. So, Christian, today, I want to urge you to simply walk with him. Take courage. Fear not. Smile at the future. This is who we are as Christians, because the message of Christ is a message of hope. And as disciples, we are people of hope. So we move forward. And I hope today is a great day for you. Bye.
They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Words of life, words of hope.